I'm gonna let everybody know this right away. If you are in a relationship and you want to go see a Valentine's Day movie, this actually isn't a bad option. Yes, it is a horror movie. It is a slasher movie. But guess what? This slasher movie is the second option in this movie because it is a romance movie first. Heart Eyes stars Olivia Holt and is about the Heart Eyes killer has wreaked havoc on Valentine's Day by stalking and murdering romantic couples. From director Josh Ruben, we are talking the brand new Valentine's Day slasher, Heart Eyes. This is the brand new horror film that from the teaser I only saw. I never saw the full trailer. I only saw that one little 1-minute teaser. I was like, alright. So we had Thanksgiving come out, we had a new slasher face for Thanksgiving, now we have a new slasher face for Valentine's Day. I'm all for it, okay? I know, Media Glass produced this movie, the same people who produced the Scream movies, and everyone's like, oh, screw this movie, but hey, go give this one a chance because you might just end up really liking it for Valentine's Day, because like I said in my intro, this is a romance movie, alright? I brought my special lady friend to go see this movie today, and she actually really enjoyed it. She thought it was cute, she really liked it, and she said there was a few things that she had issues with, but she really enjoyed it. And then she turned and asked me, and I said, well, as the person who does movie reviews, and the person that absolutely loves horror movies and literally wants to make one day, that one was not great, but we'll get to it. Of course, let's begin with the positives. So, Heart Eyes is a movie that is also co-written by Christopher Landon. I think he wrote it with 2 other people. He also produced the movie. Christopher Landon directed and wrote Freaky, which I love, the Happy Death Day movies, which I really enjoy, and he's got a brand new movie coming out in April. He is a director I really like. I like his genre. I like what he's doing with like changing things up, but making a horror movie, making it have heart, comedy, stuff like that. When it comes to this movie, I can tell that he didn't direct this movie because the tonal shifts of this movie is questionable. Again, we'll start with the positives, and that is Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding's chemistry in this movie. Like I said, this is a romance movie first, and their chemistry is really good. It actually saves the movie, in my opinion. They're both very good actors, and when they are together on screen, they're pretty darn good. There is times in the movie where it's very, very cliche, and sometimes the movie knows that. And it's sometimes the smartest comedy when they're doing that. One example is very early on in the movie, they headbutt each other, and then you think like, oh, that's a little cute thing. You've seen that in tons of romance movies. The very next thing that happens, I thought was hilarious. I thought it was so funny and it caught me off guard, and I love that kind of stuff. Don't want to spoil the joke. But basically, when it happens like that and the chemistry's working, I'm all for it. And honestly, they worked together really well, and I wanted them to live. I wanted them to make it in this slasher movie. You also have our killer, Heart Eyes. I like the mask. I don't know people's opinion yet on the slasher of this new icon we might be having. I don't know yet. But I will say I like the mask. I like the whole concept of like, this slasher basically kills people who are Valentine's Day's couples, and they go after couples, and I like that. I really do, and I think this is a really cool idea, and if this franchise, or if this movie wanted to build into a franchise, I'm all for that idea. But besides that, there's a few cool shots. I'll say that. The one in the teaser with the mouth shot that is totally 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre with the whole mouth hole thing. Yeah, that's a cool shot in the movie. There's other things in the movie that's really cool. Nice shadowing and some just really nice production value adding on to the character of Heart Eyes. Like, I was like, you know what? This feels like an 80s slasher, and I'm all for it, you know? I don't hate the slasher genre. It's not my favorite subgenre in horror movies, but it's obviously one of the most popular ones, and honestly, I feel like if you can go into this movie and you can just really have fun with it, you can. Unfortunately, I did walk out saying this movie was pretty bad. My friend, she liked it, and she was like, you're stupid. I'm like, I'm sorry. I just, maybe it's because I've seen so many slashers that are so much better than this movie that I just was like, yeah, this one wasn't good. So the biggest issue I have with this movie is honestly the dialogue. This movie's dialogue is not great. In the first 3 minutes of this movie, the opening scene of this movie, I was like, what is this dialogue? What is this? And the overacting by these 2 performers in the opening movie, I was like, what is this? And like for the first 20 minutes, when Olivia Holt's not with Mason Gooding and she's with her friend, I was like sitting there saying like, this is garbage. Like, I was not having a good time. As soon as they get together, the movie gets better because of their chemistry, but there are times out of this movie where there's a ton of overacting. Devon Sawa's in this movie. He plays a cop with the girl from Fast and Furious. What is her name? She's in this movie. They're both cops in this movie, and I thought both of them were over the top, and I was like, what is the tone of this movie? And that's where it comes to my big issue, is the direction. I thought the direction was very poor. I thought the tonal shifts of the entire movie into serious slasher, a little bit of dramatic beats with Olivia Holt, over-the-top comedy, like over-the-top acting comedy, and then there was some good physical comedy thrown in there that I liked, but all of it just didn't mesh together, and I was not having a good time. Again, I thought the actual slasher element, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't anything crazy, especially if you're a horror fan like me. Like, you've seen all of this stuff before. I mean, the best shot in the movie is that kill with the whole mouth and the camera goes through it. But us horror fans, it's like, yeah, that's 2003 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I've seen that before. Because my lady friend was like, she said, oh, wow, like, that was really cool shot. I was like, yeah, it's called Texas Chainsaw. It's 2003. It's the same exact shot, basically. But no, I just sat in this movie. It's just really bad dialogue and just over-the-top acting. I thought the directing was really bad and really piss poor, honestly. And unfortunately, I think it is so blatant. Like, it is so obvious who the killer is. It is so obvious. I mean, it is literally in your face. You're like, it's that person. Now, they do something when the reveal happens. I'm like, that's really lame and stupid. But either way, I predicted the killer. It's very, very easy. If you can't figure it out, that's okay. But for me, I was like, it's that person. And my lady friend was like, oh, wow, you got it right. I was like, yeah, I'm a genius. Anyway, guys, Hard Eyes was bad. It wasn't good in my opinion, but it wasn't like the worst thing I've seen, you know? Like, I would totally watch this again because I'm such a horror fan, and there were some cool shots, and I like Olivia Holt and Mason Gooding a lot, and they both really work in this movie. And I'll say it again, this is a good romance movie. Seriously, this is a very good Valentine's Day movie, especially if you're a horror fan like me. This is a perfect, like, go watch it with your loved one and have a good time. It's not scary. It's more of a slasher where there's like a good 2 maybe jump scares that, of course, I saw coming. And the kills are, man, there's a couple. There's one at the very end that's really cool. I was like, all right, that one was cool. But everything else was like, I've seen it before. And in the end, I didn't really like it. I'm going to give Heart Eyes a C-. Now, how does this movie have like a 90% Rotten Tomatoes? I don't know, but you know what? I feel like a lot of people are going to like this more than me, and that's totally fine. But again, I'm saying this, I would watch it again, but I'm not telling you it's a good movie. I'm not going to say that. I think this is a bad movie. Anyway, guys, you guys enjoy this movie review. I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye, everybody.